root identity of the olive branch revealed. Let's look at some more support for what we're saying here. Jeremiah 11:16. The Lord called thy name a green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit. With the noise of a great tumult, he hath kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken. Well, what we find in Jeremiah is the exact same thing that we're finding from Genesis all the way to the book of Romans, is that something of this great has caused this division, this sway of faith within the nation of Israel, and that we find out there's been the birth of an unbelieving nation, and this nation is being symbolized by the olive branch being torn from the original tree of symbolic Israel. And that's exactly what you're seeing, and they're being described as being broken once again. Well, I hope you see that that brings us full circle, 360 degrees around to where we originally started in the first series entitled Ephraim and Manasseh. And what we find out now, that we find out who these branches are that are by this well and that have been strengthened. Genesis 49 verse 22. Joseph is a fruitful bough, even a fruitful bough by a well, whose branches run over the wall. Well, this is about Ephraim and Manasseh that were prophesied by Jacob to be the new leaders of Israel that would eventually usurp the throne of Judah. Their head, or more importantly, upon the Antichrist's head, and that they would rule in his stead beside them as the kingdom rulers of the people over us. So we see that was prophesied in Genesis by Jacob. If you look at it closely, you'll see it. That's what the other series is all about, that they plan on taking over the throne of Judah, and that's the conspiracy. Everything that we've talked about is what's leading up to their control and their ability to do that. So just see here that Joseph's descendants, Ephraim and Manasseh, are that fruitful bough. A fruitful bough is a collection of branches. Now we see those branches are being blessed by this well. In that series, we looked at the identity of the well. The identity of the well is the bottomless pit that we see in Revelation 9:11, of which is ruled over by Apollyon, who is in connection with the locust, who is in connection with the demigods, who is in connection with the Danites, who is in connection back to this very same fallen prince. It all makes 100% undeniable connected truth that if you spend the time through these videos, there's no way to refute it. And you only stick your foot in your mouth if you continue to do it and you delay your own progress. I certainly don't. I'm out here working as hard as I can for you to get you to understand this when I could be hanging out with my girlfriend or out there cutting my grass. But, you know, I'm putting aside the things I got to do. And it's no big deal. I'm going to do it. You know, I'm not saying I'm not gladly doing it. I am, you know, and I understand that I got a hill to climb. I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to do the spiritual work, not to receive any rewards from me, but the rewards I know that you will receive in the understanding if you realize that I'm not out here trying to deceive nobody. I'm trying to drop that deception to its knees, conquer it, and then reveal the truth. So these descendants of Joseph, as we saw, is Ephraim and Manasseh. We see that Ephraim and Manasseh now is the eagle, or more importantly, Ephraim is being symbolized as the leading eagle. And then we see now that, of course, Ephraim has taken upon itself the symbolism of the olive branch. And then that brings us back to Joseph in Genesis 49:22. Now, let's go ahead and just read through here, just for those who haven't seen it, just to understand that we're about to get into the symbolism of the archers, the arrows also. Joseph is a fruitful bough, even a fruitful bough by a well, whose branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. These descendants are to be the shepherd. We see the olive branch is now right in line with the arrows. Think about this, my friends. I'll be back.